Good morning. Welcome back to this video lecture. So in this lecture we shall discuss on structural evaluation of payments. Well, so first of all, why structural evaluation of the payment? So the structural evaluation payment is nothing but determining the capacity of the pavement to carry the traffic loads. Okay, sometimes what happens due to this fatigue loading or due to repetition of wheel loads, the pavement will lose its strength to carry those wheel loads. So in such cases, what we need to do is we need to strengthen the pavement or we need to reconstruct the pavement. Okay, so since reconstruction is a very costly affair, so most of the cases we will go for strengthening of the pavement. So for that reason, so strengthening of the pavement is nothing but providing an overlay. Additional layer of the pavement is provided on the existing or failed pavement layer. So that is called as overlay. So this in order to determine the thickness of the overlay, so we need to go for structural evaluation of the pavement. Okay, so one of the major study that we conduct for structural evaluation pavement is Benkelman beam deflection study. Okay, so without wasting time, we shall go through what exactly is this test, how it is conducted and all those things. The principle of Benkelman beam test and the procedure of determining the deflection value at any point on the flexible pavement. So the principle is that the magnitude of the rebound deflection of a flexible pavement when a standard wheel load of a truck is moved forward is measured using Benkelman beam. So on the selected stretch of the stretch, a number of deflection observation points are marked. One second, wait a minute. Yeah. Then the rebound deflection values generally vary from pavement to pavement, and the overall characteristic deflection value of the pavement stretch is estimated by statistical analysis of deflection data collected. So what we do here is with the help of this Benkelman deflection measurement device, so we will collect the deflection. We will collect the deflection values at various points on the selected stretch of the road or the road where you need to provide a overlay or strengthen the pavement. Okay, so here we shall see the determination of deflection values or the procedure. Here, drive the truck slowly parallel to the edge and stop such that the left dual wheel tires of the rear axle are centrally placed over the first deflection measurement pavement. So here what we do is, actually I don't have a figure. Anyway, so here on the pavement we need to mark 3 points. Okay, so 3 points where you are going to move the truck at various distances. Okay, so the first point or the starting point you are going to mark it as 0 or 0.1. So next from that 2.7 meter ahead of the first point, that will be the second point, and from that 9 meter ahead of that 0.2. So these are the 3 points. At first point, from there 2.7 meter, second point, from second point 9 meter. So total 3 points you are going to mark on the pavement. This could be then what we do is, here you can see, so this is a Benkelman beam. Okay, so this is a Benkelman deflection measurement device. So this is provided with a datum, then a beam is there. Okay, so then pivot is there, then rear legs are there, front legs are there, then a clamp will be there. So then dial gauges for measuring the deflection will be there. So this is a pivot point. So this is a probe end of the beam. Okay, the total length of this beam will be around 3.66 meter. Okay, so then beam idella, so this is 3.66 meter. Okay, so from this pivot point, so this length of the beam is around 2.44 meter. So the total length of the beam is 3.66 meter, and from pivot to this probe end of the beam it is 2.44 meter, and the remaining then we will be having a dial gauge for measuring the deflection value somewhere here, which will be at a distance of 1.22 meter. So this remaining part of the beam is 1.22 meter from the pivot, and the deflection measuring device will be provided somewhere here. Here you can see, so the first point where you need to measure the deflection value. So a truck is made to stand at that point, rear axle of the truck is made to stand on that point. So then this probe end of the beam is there, no? So that will be inserted between the clear gap between these dual wheels. Okay, here you can see, so this is a clear gap between these two wheels, and this probe end is made to exactly placed with the center of that clear end. Okay, so then this could be verified through that means drive the truck slowly parallel to the edge and stop such that left dual wheels of the rear axle are centrally placed over first deflection measurement pavement. Okay, so this is the first point. So once your beam is set here, okay, so then the truck is made to move slowly such that this dual wheel assembly is placed over exactly on the first point. Okay, so usually the truck load will be 8170 kg total. Okay, so equally distributed over the two sets of dual wheels. So usually so on this axle the standard load should be 8170 kg. So on I'm speaking about the axle load 8170 kg, such that that load is equally distributed over these two pairs of dual wheel loads, such that on each set of dual wheels the load will be around 4085 kg. 4085 kg load will be there on this set of dual wheels. Okay, so that is the standard load. So then the probe end of the beam is inserted between the gap of the dual wheel and is placed exactly over the deflection observation pavement. Okay, so then as soon as you what happens, you made the truck to move on that first point, the pavement will start to deflect. Okay, so when the rate of deflection is less than 0.0225 mm, andre rate of deflection will be less than 0.025 mm per minute. Andre 1 minute adikkinta ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಡಯಲ್ ಗೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So then you need to note down the initial dial gauge reading. Okay, so that will be D0, that will be noted as D0. Okay, so then the truck is moved forward slowly through a distance of 2.7 meter. Andre from now the truck is moved to the second point for deflection observation of the pavement. When the rate of recovery of deflection is less than 0.05 mm per minute, note down the D1. So then the truck is moved to the second point at a distance of 2.7 meter from the first point. Then the deflection that measuring device is again placed in a similar way what we did for the first point. So then when the rate of recovery is less than 0.05 mm per minute, then note on the intermediate dial gauge reading, that will be DI. Okay, so D0 is the initial dial gauge reading and DI is the intermediate dial gauge reading. Now the truck is made to move further to a distance of 9 meter from the second point, and a similar procedure is adopted to get the final dial gauge reading, which is called as DF. So lock the Benkelman beam and shift the instrument to the next observation point like this. So this makes one measurement. So point 1, point 2, point 3. So D0, DI and DF, that is initial dial gauge reading, intermediate dial gauge reading and final dial gauge reading. So this entire process makes one set of measurement. So then the BBD test setup is locked and is taken to the next set of measurements. So like this number of measurements are taken for over a stretch of road. Then perform the Benkelman beam deflection test at 25 intervals on either side of the road. So usually if it is a single lane pavement, the readings are taken on one side of the road. If it is a two lane pavement, alternatively on either side of the pavement. For example, so if this is a road, so if you are taking first measurement here, the second measurement will be taken somewhere here, in a staggered manner. Okay, so that is how you are going to collect the data of Benkelman beam deflection method. So this is a standard equipment where you can see. So here is the figure how the BBD test setup is inserted between this clear gap of the dual wheel load assembly. So then the ribbon deflection value D at any point is given by one of the following two conditions. So if DI is more than DF, if DI minus DF is more than 2.5 divisions of the dial gauge or 0.025 mm, D is equal to 2 times D naught minus DF divisions of the 0.01 mm units, so which will be equal to 0.02 D naught minus DF. So if DI minus DF is greater than or equal to 2.5 divisions, so this indicates that a correction is needed for vertical movement of the front legs. Therefore D is equal to 2 times D naught minus DF plus 2K into DI minus DF divisions. The value of K is determined for every make of the Benkelman beam, and it is given by the relation K is equal to 3D minus 2E divided by F, where D is the distance between bearing of the beam and adjusting leg. So E is the distance between the dial gauge and rear adjusting leg. F is the distance between front and rear leg. Usually K value for every Benkelman deflection beam is will be given, so no problem with that. So therefore deflection value D will be equal to 0.02 D naught minus DF plus 0.0582 DI minus DF mm. So we'll just go through the video, so which will be easy for understanding the concept. Here you can see this is a Benkelman beam, a pivot. Sorry, pivot is somewhere here. Yeah. This is front legs. So pivot will be here. So that means it will be movable. Dial gauges are there. Adjusting screws are there. Both the dial gauges are there. Now here you can see this is a standard tuck. Okay, so here on the rear axle the load will be, as I said, 8170 kg. So on this set of wheel load, the load will be 4085 kg. So now this is the first point. Okay, so they are measuring the measurement. Then from this point the truck is moved for a distance of 3.7 meter, so 2.7 meter. So they are noting down the dial gauge readings. So when the rate of recovery is almost 0 or less than 0.025 mm per minute, then the reading is considered. Okay. So this is how the beam, probe end of the beam is inserted between the tires. So here we need to measure the pavement temperature also during the test. So and the tire pressure we need to take into account. Usually the tire pressure has to be 5.6 kg per centimeter square, the tire pressure. So now it is moved for a period of 2.7 meter. So here you can see they are measuring that distance with the help of this tape from this first point. Then it is made exactly to stand at a distance of as I said, yeah, 2.7 meter. So now here you can see they are measuring the distance between first point and second point. So like that, from that point, third point will be 9 meter. Okay. So this is regarding Benkelman beam deflection test. Okay. So next second test is falling weight deflectometer. Okay. So a falling weight deflectometer is a device that is designed to simulate the loading of a wheel passing over a pavement and measures its vertical deflection response to that load. Okay. So then deflect metal, which the instrument is constituted of deflect metal, which drops a weight of 150 kg from a variable height on a spring system. Then this in turn transmit a load pulse of 28 meter per second in direction to the road surface through a circular plate. Then a maximum peak load of 60 kilonewton develops a deflected dish that can be recorded up to 5 velocity sensitive transients arrayed radially from the loaded area. The equipment is called single axle trailed, and about 20 measurements can be taken daily. So FWD, that is falling weight deflectometer data, is most oftenly used to calculate the stiffness related parameters of the pavement structure, usually Young's modulus of the subgrade, like that. So such kind of data are determined here. The process of calculating elastic moduli of the individual layers in multi-layer system based on surface deflections. Here you can see this is a falling weight deflectometer. Okay, so it is a load plate. Okay, so these are the devices which is used to receive the data. Okay, then a falling mass. Okay, so this is regarding falling weight deflectometer. So with that we shall discuss this one also anyway. Okay, so the third one is ground penetrating radar. So GPR is a non-destructive field test, can provide continuous profile of existing road conditions. So GPR can utilize high speed data collection at a speeds up to 50 meter per hour. So 50 miles per hour, thus requiring less traffic control and resulting in greater safety. So GPR has the potential to be used for a variety of pavement applications, including measuring the thickness of the asphalt pavement, base and subgrade. Okay, so in assisting the analysis of the rutting mechanisms, where GPR helps actually, then calculating and verifying the material properties, locating subsurface objects, then detecting stripping or layer separation, then detecting subsurface moisture, determining depth to near surface bedrock and peat deposits. GPR operates by transmitting short pulses of electromagnetic energy into the ground. Then the reflected image of these pulses are analyzed using 1D electromagnetic wave propagation theory. These pulses are reflected back to the antenna with amplitudes and arrival time that related to the dielectric constants of the material layers. So across the interfaces, part of the energy is reflected and part of absorbed depending on the dielectric constant of the materials. So GPR working theory, an electromagnetic pulse is sent through an antenna penetrating into the surveyed material. A portion of the energy is reflected back to the antenna when an interface between the material of the dissimilar electric constant is encountered. For example, so here you can see if there are two different layers, usually when an electromagnetic pulse is sent through the antenna, so that will travel through a certain distance and will be reflected back. So now depending on the time of time of travel, you are going to determine the thickness of various layers. Okay, so if the dielectric constant of two layers is different, then part of the energy is reflected and is absorbed by the layers. So based on that principle, you are going to determine the thickness of various layers. So here you can see depth, true travel time, these are the transmitters and as well as receivers. So now electromagnetic impulse is sent here, then again received back, sent and received back with alternative transmitter and receivers. So depending on the time of travel of this electromagnetic pulse, so you are going to determine the thickness of the pavement or thickness of the different layers. Okay, so with that we shall conclude this structural evaluation. So in the next video I shall discuss on the problem related to Benkelman beam deflection. That means design of thickness of the overlay using BBD data. So I hope you understood. Thank you so much.